represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent magic, right? That you're in a universe and 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 plus 2 only equals 4 if you accept that 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 plus 2 is going to be what I want it to be. You know, and there's a redemptive power.
Hold up.
That making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. If I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and, you know, it's hard to put into words, some real metaphysical, esoteric nonsense, but I feel very strongly that we are who we choose to be.
Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from, that called the police on when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. And to all my peoples in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby, baby. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
Welcome to the shows. Audibly Fat. How's it going? Oh, Jesus. Had to split the last episode into 2 parts. This is part 2. Did you hear Will Smith at the top of this episode being a fucking psycho Scientologist freak? Yeah, these people, man. That's why I just can't. I don't know. There's a part of me that'll never believe that was not planned out by the two of them on some level. Chris Rock has a new special he just announced. It's just, I don't know. You know, there's a part of me that'll always think that was some bullshit, no matter what. I don't care what anybody says. But it doesn't matter. And I just saw that video on Twitter, and it was some freaky deaky shit because he's just a fucking idiot. These people, remember his son? Do you remember, what was his name? It's not Jada. Jaden Smith. I don't know. Will Smith's son, the one that was an actor. I don't know if he still is. He was in that space movie with him. He might have been in The Pursuit of Happiness with him. Yeah, that kid used to be all memed up because he just said the dumbest things, but people never realized that Will Smith said the equally dumb shit all the time. He said stupid ass shit all the fucking time. Oh man, there's tons of videos going around right now on Twitter of him just being a fucking freak. Maybe I'll find another one before the end of it. They're not hard to find. He's just a lunatic. Anyways, I gotta get back to this job list. Where was I? I think I was at pressure washing and taking $60 from my older brother, my older stepbrother. I'm gonna shoot him a Venmo and send him a text and be like, "Yo, dude, remember, what would this be? 2000 pressure washing was 2006. So whatever, 16 years ago, I took $60 from you. Here you go, bro. Yeah." And I got my years wrong. That's another thing I wanted to talk about, is my memory is fucked. I know my food. I know I smoke a lot of pot, and I have bad lifestyle habits. Obviously, if you smoke a lot of pot, I spend a lot of time eating a lot of food. I used to eat a lot more than I do now. I used to eat a lot worse than I do now, and a lot more volume. But yeah, so I don't know if it's that, being just a fat kid poisoning myself with American food, or the pot every year. Pretty much smoking pot every day since like 2009. Almost every day. I went a few days here and there. And a couple, times where you couldn't, where you're doing shit. You're out of town, you're wherever. But pretty much every day for 13 years. That'll definitely eat your memory for sure. But I was listening back to the episode so I can chronologically pick up on where I was, but I got years wrong. I was definitely behind where I should have been. Everything fast forward a year. It wasn't 03 or 04, it was 05, 06. And then now we'd be getting into, like I said, to the winter of 2006. We were pressure washing. Now we're into 07. Still, January 07 maybe. And now I'm working at, I don't know. See, there's two jobs right here that I don't know which one came first. You know what? I do know which one came first. So it would have been 2006, Christmas 2006. I would have been working at Target. That's where I would be. So we're going to mark that. My memory's fucked, man. I have all this shit listed, but I don't know when I did it all. So now I'm working at Target. I'm 18, just graduated high school. It's that Christmas. So I'm working there. And yeah, that makes sense because I'm dating my girlfriend at the time. Her name was Kayla. I was dating her. And it was my first girlfriend. The girl, lost your virginity to, whatever. I was dating her at the time. She was a complete lunatic. We ended up working at Target together. Yeah. So it had to have been. Exactly. So Christmas 06. And I remember, so I got hired as seasonal help. You get hired there in November. So I'm pressure washing at night. And yeah, so 06, I'm pressure washing at night and a few days a week. And now I got a job at Target. So I get a job there and it's full time and I'm a cart attendant, which means I clean the bathrooms and I run carts. You've seen those people. Everybody's seen that guy. So I'd just be slinging carts and, I'd always get in trouble, more than 25 or whatever it was supposed to be. But it was this was a new area. This is Lone Tree Way in Antioch. This is like an area, if you look on a map, it would be the Lone Tree Way area Target. It's an area that I've always referred to as Brantley. Okay? Remember that. Brantley. It's a conversion. It's a crossroads of 3 towns, Brentwood, Antioch, and Oakley. They all meet at this one point near a nation's. That was by a nation's. What else is over there? Not Digger's Diner. The other one. The fucking. Okay, Digger's Diner is like this place. Either way, I'm not going to get sidetracked. It's not called Digger's. Lumpy's. The guy's a legend where I'm from. R.I.P. Lumpy. Everybody loved him. I was at his wedding. I worked his wedding at a job I'll talk about soon. It's an area called Brantley where, like I said, 3 towns meet, and it used to be just a fucking, literally a 2-lane road. And then it became a massive shopping center, huge AM, PM gas station, neighborhoods, nice suburbs, $500,000 homes immediately put in, Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, Jamba Juice, Johnny Carino's, Mimi's Cafe, In-N-Out Burger, the whole shit, the whole 9 yards. So, of course, I went and got a job at Target, and then I'm working carts in Brantley. I don't know technically what town the Target even would be in. Probably Antioch, if I had to guess. Yeah, maybe Antioch. Who knows, dude? It's gotta be Brantley. I'm gonna have to edit this out. I got too high for this episode. Or maybe I'll leave it. Who knows? Who cares? So I'm working at the Target, running carts. Always getting, told to stop running as many carts, but I don't want to take as many trips, man. It's fucking busy as shit. This place is new. Slatin Ranch, I think they called it. This place is just popping. So you kind of have to I had to keep up, dude. This place is busy as fuck. I got to do what I got to do. My job's as a cart attendant. Your job's, the glory of being a cart attendant at Target is you have to clean the bathrooms every hour and you have to sign it out. So I had to go clean and scrub urinals and wipe pubes off of urinals and whatever every hour on the hour for 8 hours and run all the carts and make sure the parking lot was clean. So I'm getting equally bitched at for carts in the lot, and then I'm running too many carts, okay? So a couple months of that, probably done pressure washing by now, so I'm just doing this. Like I said, girlfriend works with me at the time. And then I think it had to have been, so Christmas happens, and then within the week after, a few days after, I think it was the day after. I've always described it as the day after. I think it really was. I come to work and I finish my shift, and it's still busy because there's tons of returns and all types of shit. Day after Christmas, it's, things are on sale. And I'm bringing all the carts in at the end of the night, and obviously I'm overloading it, whatever. And then this fucking ginger bitch, my manager, somebody, the manager, the night manager, I suppose. She calls me into the office, and I'm like, oh God. And I get that sinking pit in my stomach. And she calls me in and cans me, and she's like, here, and her and some dude, and they hand me like $700 cash. And she's like, this is everything we owe you. We no longer need you. Your services are no longer required. We told you it was unsafe what you're doing. And I just was like, okay, and I was like, do I get to argue, or can I, I'll never do it again? And then she was just like, no, you're done. And I'm a seasonal help. And, I kind of knew that the whole time. And so I leave, right? And I'm like, it's fine. I got $700, whatever. And then she made a point to say, this is everything we owe you, sign here, don't come pick up your paycheck on Friday. I don't know what day of the week it was, but like I said, my girlfriend worked there at the time, and she worked in the dressing rooms, and that's where you got your paycheck at Target. And so come Friday, I drive my fat ass over there, walk into Target, and I go to the lady in the fitting rooms, and she says, hi, hi Darren, how are you? Sweet old lady. And then Kayla comes out because she hears my name, and she's like, hey, what's up? And then the old lady hands me my paycheck, and my girl kept her cool. We just bullshitted, and then I left. And so, yeah, pop that open, and it's almost the equal amount of money I owed. I'm pretty sure they owed me another tiny little paycheck. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. 18, you get fired on Christmas, day after Christmas, but 2 days later, you're able to turn that 700 into 1,300. That was pretty sweet. So that's how I got fired from Target. And how I got over on Target, and you can suck my dick. You paid me twice, fucking dumb bitch. Why'd you pay me cash? You're an idiot. I couldn't believe. Looking back, I genuinely couldn't. I can't believe she did that. This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. So right around this time, I get a job at Winco, a grocery store across the street. In the parking lot with Sticky Chicken and Ribs and Old Spot. All my fucking Oakley, Antioch heads know what I'm talking about. Contra Costa County, East Bay kids know what I'm talking about. Real ones know. Sticky Chicken and Ribs, RIP. So I'm working at Winco. It's a fucking fire-ass grocery store. They got the pizza at the front. It's like a West Coast. It's like a green Costco. It's a little different. It's like Costco fucked Whole Foods a little bit. They got the dry food. You can fill up your own bags of all types of shit. But it's not Costco-y. It's more of a grocery store, but it's still bulk. And they got pizza at the front. They got they had that chunky garlic ranch. That raw garlic, it'll burn your tongue. Fucking fire. Oh, man. I worked at Winco, but I worked graveyard. My mom got me a job there through another friend. So I already burned a bridge at the first one by totaling his truck. The first of many cars I would total in my life. Around this time, I totaled my first truck, a 1983 Ford F-100. You can suck my fucking dick. I'm going to put that as the fucking front page. I'm going to Photoshop me in it, but I have pictures of it. I'm not in it, but I'm going to Photoshop me in it. My terrible Photoshops, my signature move. I didn't Photoshop me in the last episode, but I really wanted the clicks, man. I really want the clicks. I want the truth. The truth about why Will hit Chris. Oh, man. So, kept myself out of that one, but my signature move will be horrible Photoshops. And by Photoshop, I mean I have a fucking app on my iPhone 8 that doesn't really allow you to Photoshop very well. You can only pick 2 images and overlay them, and then you can edit them a little bit and brush them and erase. And then, so that's why they're so horrible. So what I end up having to do, and because I'm not going to pay for the app, I can't save the file. I have to screenshot it constantly. And so if I add too many layers, as you see in some of my past episodes, you have some of these things that are so fucking just blurred out because they've been just copied so many times. But I love it, and that's how I'm going to always fucking do it, and you can suck my fucking dick. That's just how I feel about it, I like it. It's my signature move. So now I'm at Winco, My signature move here is show up and look for all the food I can eat, obviously. The fuck's that noise? Damn. Someone's car alarm. Suburbs, I'm not used to it. God damn, I'm a suburbanite. I just looked up at the window. I can't believe I just did that. It's pretty ridiculous.
I don't believe it.
I'm a suburban kid now. I'm like, what? Horns? What you mean? I used to just be. way of life. So you're at Winco stocking shelves. So now I'm stocking shelves, graveyard, fucking awful. Mom got me the job, so now there's pressure, but now I'm looking for all the food I can eat. When there's damaged food, they put it in the break room. Pretty chill. It's employee-owned company, so it's pretty tight. And it's 20. It was, I don't know if it was 24 hours, but I was able to buy food. Yeah, it was 24 hours. I was able to buy food all the time. So I'm just a fat fuck, you know. I take all my money and I buy food, and I still have my money in my pocket from Target. But what happened was I would grab a pallet, take it to an aisle. And to me, this was like so much work. This was like such a thing, you know. I was just like, dude, what? And I'd take it to an aisle, and I'd have to stock and face a shelf. And it was fucking awful. I fucking hated it. And I fell asleep. I fell asleep twice. The first time, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Did I just fall asleep? Like, I didn't really... It like fucked with my head. I didn't think I really did. I was like, damn. Because I'd smoked the weed before I came in. I was like, damn, bro. You gotta be cool. So I came in sober the next time. And I did it. And I fell asleep again facing a shelf. You're stocking and facing a shelf. It's fucking... You're just ripping open boxes with a razor cutter. And you stock these shelves. And now you gotta face them. So you finish your pallet. And then they go, okay, now face the shelf. Face the whole aisle. And that's when I'd fall asleep. And the second time, I like, you know, like 18. So I think I probably cried. I was just like, I can't do this shit. And I just took my shirt off, bro. And I walked up to the manager. And I'm not even 2 weeks in. And it's 3 a.m. Shift starts at like 9 or 10 maybe. And I walk in, I just hand him my shirt. I'm just like, here you go, dude. I can't do this anymore. And he's just like, wait, what? What are you doing? Like, where are you going? Like, stick it out, man. Like, this is a good job. This is a really, really good job. You're young. This is a good job. You don't want to give this up. And I was having none of it, bro. I just walked out. I went out and I sat in the parking lot in fucking January or February, and I just called my mom. And she sent my stepdad to come get me. He was livid, and I just didn't give a fuck. I was tired as fuck. I was like, dude, just shut up. I want to go home and go to bed, dude. I can't do this. I can't do the graveyard. And I don't want to. More importantly, I don't want to. I would say I can't, you know, or whatever, but I just didn't want to. I was like, fuck that shit. Kind of pissed off a good job. Like I said, employee-owned company. The guy was right. I was only 18. Fast forward to now, I'd be there 15, 16 years. You know, I'd only be 33, 34 years old. Solid move by me, but I don't regret any move because I got the fuck out of the East Bay. So, Winco, done. Walked out. The first, you know, walkout. The first of many. They call me Walkouts Jay. So now I'm done with Target. Crossing them off. So now I don't know where I went next. I want to say, because my truck still existed, it would be Lids. Now is Lids. Lids. So now I'm at the hat store, which I've talked about in previous episodes. Best job I've ever had. Worked at Sbarro, but this is where I made a lot of money robbing them blind, selling hats under the table because I was in a kiosk and I could just do it. I was an assistant manager. A famous football player's little sister worked under me and gave me her 2 sidekicks every time she got a new phone. It was pretty tight. I got hand-me-downs from a football player's little sister. It was pretty sick. She was cool as fuck. Worked there, slinging hats under the table because I could. But this is where I got really fat because I would go to Sbarro. I think I've talked about this. I would go to Sbarro and I'd get garlic bread For $1.50, 75 cents you get a piece of garlic bread. So for $1.50 you can get 2, or $3 you can get 4. And they'd give me a big old thing of marinara, like a little bowl with like 2 ladles in it. And I just fucking go to town on that. You know, obviously get a slice. Charlie's Subs opened and had the best kiwi lemonade I've ever had in my life. Fucking amazing. I'd get the big, I don't know if you guys remember the big stupid, I'm going to Photoshop this in, the giant, it was from Regal Cinemas too, the Pepsi large plastic lid thing. I don't know. Who cares? You know what I'm talking about? It had like this big spiral plastic lid on it. It was this Pepsi cup, and it was like a twist top, but it had a it was weird. You could drink out of it. It was weird. I'd get one of those full of kiwi lemonade on the reg. La Salsa was across the street. Fire ass asada burritos, and carnitas burritos, and then you'd go to the cheesesteak shop in the Bay Area. Shout out Cheesesteak Shop. I want to franchise one in Colorado. Holla at me. We could fucking make it happen. I want you guys to sponsor the podcast. You guys are the shit. Fire ass authentic cheesesteaks. So I'm getting 16-inch cheesesteaks. I'm getting burritos. I'm getting Sbarro. I'm getting fucking gallon of kiwi lemonade. Since I'm making money hand over fist, I'm filling up my tank. I'm hitting the gas station, Seeds, Black and Milds. Like I said, clove cigarettes. I'm smoking Dejarums. I was talking about that with George the other day. I was smoking clove ciggies. Fucking. I'm just living the life. Going to Mainland and Concord and buying LRG. Going to Berkeley and just fucking eating Fat Slice. Just like a fucking pig. Going to Zachary's Pizza. Going to Metro Burger. Sam's Burgers. You know, getting Mission Tacos, there's a convenience store over there where you can get the best torta you've ever had in your life. Just being fat, I would just drive around and eat. That's all I did in the Bay Area. I would drive around and eat. I would go to Japantown and get sushi with my Filipino friends because I had to get, you know, I'm going into a place where I'm the only white person in there. You know, just goddamn, Lids was a shit. I just made a lot of money. So stupid. And I was young, and like I said, living in my car or staying with, you know, you stay over at your girlfriend's house or you live with my grandparents. So now I'm, you know, I'm not fully in my car yet because me and Kayla are still messing around. So things hadn't got bad yet. And then, like I said, I'm still keeping jobs. I'm still keeping that afloat. At my parents' house or at my mom's house. So Lids was like a catalyst. I remember that it was like that was like the one they're gonna kick you. If I didn't find a job, it was coming down to it again. Like, because I'd walked out at Winco and I didn't have a job, and of course I'm on thin ice, and they want me out. And the only thing keeping me out is me just physically not leaving at that point. Like, so it wasn't until I got canned from Lids. What happened was we got audited. I worked there for 9 months. It was a great 9 months. Made a ton of money. Worked into the summer of now 2007. Chilling, man. Like I said, just swimming at my friend's pool, swimming at Anthony's pool. Me and fucking go. Like I said, just being young and in the Bay, bro. Took, you know, 1 year out of high school. Everyone's going to community college. I'm just being a fuck off, working at the mall. And, you know, the feeling of being a loser hasn't fully hit me yet. So it was pretty sweet. Worked there. And then when we got audited after 9 months, we finally got audited and they were missing $30,000 worth of inventory. And then my manager, she obviously got canned, obviously. Well, duh. But she was proven to have done it and admitted to it somehow. They knew she did it. She was doing it, and they caught her because all the size 8s, at the time I wore a 7 5/8, maybe a 7 3/4. So I didn't wear a size 8, and no one really came in. That's a very uncommon size. I wear a size 8 now, or a 7 7/8, 8 now. But at the time, we never had any. And I never really thought about it, but she was taking them for her boyfriend or her husband. And so she was doing what I was doing for herself pretty much, and just like doing it outside of the mall. Whereas I was just doing it right there, dude. Just fucking woo. I remember some of them, I made like $150 in a deal, like 8 hats. Oh, it was great. $20 a hat, man. I didn't budge on it. It was awesome. It was a long time ago. 2006, 2007. It was a long time ago. It was a long, long time ago. But it was fun. Super fun, dude. So after that, I believe now I'm getting kicked out. Yeah, now I get kicked out. And where did I work when I got kicked out? I worked, let me see. So Lids, I don't know if I get kicked out while I worked at Lids or after. Probably after. So at some point I start doing security. Some point, by the time I'm 19, so let me see, I turned 19 in August 2007. So Lids blows up in our face that fall. Yeah, it was. So it blows up in our face that fall. And now this is what I do. I start working security. And now I'm kicked out and I'm homeless. And so what I decide to do is go to community college. This is where I play football in community college. That's why there's a gap. Fucking moron, dude. So now I go play football in community college and I work security in San Francisco. So now I'm bouncing, and now I work at places like Gravity Lounge, Circa, Temple, Whisper, the Cosmopolitan, the Vitamin Water Lounge while it was open. Mostly Gravity and Circa. So I'm doing that Monday nights and Friday nights and Saturday nights. And then Thursday nights I did a couple Thursdays at, I want to say Temple. And then I did two or three Thursdays at Temple, because Temple was like the spot. It was where everybody worked. And now I'm 19 and I got it because, like I said, I'm playing football. A lot of my friends played football, and this was just a job a lot of football players got in the Bay. So it was a lot of fun, man. Got in a lot of fights. Followed Frank Gore into a bathroom. Slapped him in the back while he was taking a piss. Because I just was fanboying the fuck out. Really started smoking weed. Then I bought my girlfriend's mom's Lincoln. Now I'm smashing that to the city every day, or 3 days a week. Hanging out in Oakland a lot. Because now I'm homeless, kicked out. So now I'm staying there. I'm just transient at this point, car. The car was sketchy, man. You can't sleep in your car in California or in the Bay Area at all. I got arrested multiple times. I've never been arrested, but you get cuffed and sit on the ground, and they strip my car. I'm in the 94 Lincoln Town Car at this point. I had totaled the truck. My girlfriend was being 5150'd. She passed away, if that makes any sense. She overdosed a few years after this, but so she was being 5150'd because she was just a drunk and a lunatic, and she was just out of control, man. Like, she was cheating on me all the time. She's just fucking wild. I went through all the growing pains of like chasing a crazy chick who's gonna cheat on me no matter what, but keep me around because I was just a puppy dog who loved her, who thought he loved her. I went through that at 19. So she's being 5150 and I'm following her in an ambulance, and I fall asleep. Okay. I fall asleep behind my girlfriend being 5150'd in an ambulance. I fall asleep behind the wheel, and I hit a fire hydrant on Lone Tree Way, and right in front of Deer Valley High School by the water park. I hit a fire hydrant that woke me up and totaled my truck. Had liability insurance, had a license at the time. So it caused I think, I don't know, 40. I got a bill, right? You get a bill. It's not like the actual bill, but it's like pretty much the invoice for the damage you did, I guess. And it was like $40,000 worth of damage to the city of Antioch. Oh man, so I crashed, totaled my truck. So now I'm in the Lincoln, and I'm smashed into the city. Me and Blank are broken up at this time, but I just can't get over the bill, man. When I opened it, like, I swear to God, I opened it and it was just like it. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Oh, when I opened it up, I was not what I was supposed to hit. I must have missed. What did I download? What the fuck is this? Hitbox? Hitbox. I did not know. Okay. You download a file and it's not what you thought it was. Thought it was this. Oh man, so I totaled my truck and then I bought her mom's Lincoln. She had a 94 Lincoln, so I'm smashing that. Working at Gravity was fucking fun as fuck. It was crazy on Mondays. Now I'm bouncing out football players like Kevin Barlow and getting in crazy fights and seeing all types of crazy shit. I saw this guy get put in a coma with a stanchion. He got hit in the head with the fucking, the ropes and the poles outside of a nightclub. He got hit in the head with one of those by a girl. Put a guy through a plate glass window. Got in brawls with my friends. Just fucking living the life. Kicking people out of the club that are just acting a fucking fool, and then you rifle their pockets and they got blunts and coke and cash, and you just hand them right to the cops, and cops just take them away. It's fucking awesome. It was crazy, man. It was wild. I was a fucking wild ass kid, dude. Had no business checking IDs. I'm 19 years old. I had no business. I'm working at Circa. I end up working there for the chef, Eric Hopfinger, for like a week or two, but he wouldn't pay me. And he was like, "Do you know who the fuck I am?" I was on Top Chef, and I was like, "You didn't even win." So I gave up that cooking dream early. I wanted to be like I said, I wanted to be a chef, and I worked for him for a couple of weeks while working security at night. But he wouldn't pay me and just told me it was an internship and it was going to be at least 6 months. And I'm like, dude, I can't fucking drive to San Francisco. Like, I don't live out here. There's nowhere to live out here. You're not going to pay me. And you want me to work more hours? He wanted me to step it up and show commitment. And I just was like, listen, dude. Like, okay. So walked out on that. So now I'm just bouncing again. And then like worked Temple a couple times. That place is fucking crazy. Multiple stories. Questlove would be DJing and shit. Most Def would be there. That place was wild as fuck. And then Whisper a few times. That place was fun as fuck. I remember one time Burner and a bunch of people walked in. I didn't notice at the time, but they walked in with a box of Swisher Sweets. And I was like, oh, nice. They're just going to roll a bunch of blunts. And they open it, and it's full of pre-rolled blunts. And that was dope because they ended up handing me a couple because, like I said, security. The shit was wild as fuck. Yeah. Security in San Francisco is fucking fun as shit. Did that off and on for a few years after this point. But it was my full-time or my main gig for a while I was playing football. Fast forward, blew my knee out, played. I was fat, didn't work out, didn't go to school, skipped class, but I played every game. And but I would skip workouts after practice. And I wasn't committed. I was just a fat slob, still am, but just directionless. You know, I'm playing football because my best friends played football, and I was a lot. Like I said, I graduated high school. I started my senior year at 16, graduated at 17, and now I'm full. You know, I'm 18, gonna be 19, and I'm playing football, and yeah, I thought it was fun. I did better. I definitely did a lot better than I did in high school. But blew my knee out. I'm not Adrian Peterson, so I wasn't going to come back. So that was that dream. So immediately left that and had to go get another job. And now I'm at Tower Mart. So now football is over. The dream of school is over. I'm done going to school. Now I'm no longer with my first girlfriend. Now I'm with a girl who does go to school, who was an athlete. And so, like I said, now I'm trying to go to school and not just be a complete homeless piece of shit. But it doesn't work out, and I end up at Tower Mart, gas station in Bay Point. And now I'm smoking weed full time. And I show up and they go, "We got to drug test you." You know, I put in my application, they call me, and I show up and they go, "We got to drug test you." And I didn't know about the rules of like, they don't have, you technically have 24 hours, all this bullshit, right? I didn't know any of that. And so I'm just like, okay. And I knew I just smoked. I'm pretty much high. I smoked the night before. It's early in the morning, and he pulls out scissors, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. And he cuts a piece of my hair. And I'm like, how the fuck? I'm never going to get that job. And so I get a call back a couple days later. "Hey, you're hired." I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So I think it was a fake drug test because he just cut my hair and put it in a plastic bag. And it just, creep. Probably just a creep, you know. This is in Bay Point in California. Worked there for a couple months, and then I end up in what would be Brentwood on Balfour for another month or so. And then now I'm in Oakley, downtown. 1 year out of high school, and I'm working at a gas station. And then now, like I said, I got a different girlfriend. She's a little classier, I would say. Definitely, you know, no offense to Kayla, R.I.P. But it was a little bit more classy of an affair. And so I would be stealing a lot of booze, and we'd be going out to the city and going out. Yeah, stole a ton of fucking booze from there. Worked there for, if I did all three stores, shit, dude. I worked there 07 to 08. I probably worked there into 09. Yeah, I probably worked there for a while. Not like years, but like over a year, you know, like a year and a half. That was like a long job for me. So I work at a Tower Mart, and I'm stealing the whole time, but eventually I get fired because I get caught on camera for my girlfriend coming over and eating a bag of hot Cheetos. I knew where all the cameras were, so they never saw what would probably total to be hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of booze and Patron and Hennessy and Hypnotic and everything you could think of, man. Like cases of beer. People would come over and I'd have cases of beer. And around this time, I started doing illegal shit. Like I said, I was homeless, trying to get a place. The girl I'm living with now, there's no way I'm staying at her house. So I'm literally living in my car. and I'm really trying to get a place. So what I'm doing is have a bunch of shithead loser friends, and so I'm less focused on work at the time and more focused on, just trying not to work, if that makes any sense. And so now I'm robbing drug dealers, being a fucking idiot, doing really stupid things. So around this time I was able to get a place, believe it or not, able to get a place through my girlfriend's pastor with money, just because, we had $1,000 and I was just like, talking to her family, like, hey man, just, someone give me a chance, blah, 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 blah. But I had the money because of the stupid shit I was doing, not because of the gas station job. And so we're just partying and drinking, and eventually we get a place and it's a shithole. We have to kill all the mice. It's a complete fucking rundown, abandoned shithole. We get it from a pastor, a local Bay Area shithead pastor who wasn't paying the mortgage, and I ended up getting $5,000 to get evicted out of a year later. But at the time was just a shithole, and we're trying to clean up in Oakley. So now I'm working there and working at the gas station. This is when I get my dog Lola. This is when I buy a Bronco. Starting to, no longer on the streets, get rid of the Lincoln. Starting to move up in the world, it feels like. But then around this time, I stop doing stupid shit because obviously I'm not a complete fucking idiot. I realize there's only multiple options here. I've seen enough movies and read enough books to know there's only multiple options. There's only multiple results here. There's very few results, I should say. There's one of few. There's one of two or three. And so stopped doing it before any of those three, got out. Stopped doing stupid shit. I was an outlaw for probably a winter, probably like 3 to 5 months. Got out of that, stopped hanging out with those people. People I'd been friends with for years that just evolved into tweakers, man. Just like high school friends that just evolved into literal tweakers. And you have to just cut these people the fuck out. And then around this time I get fired from Tower Mart. For, like I said, girlfriend opening the hot Cheetos, not for the thousands of dollars of booze I had been stealing. I got robbed there at gunpoint one time. I just literally, it was just like, here's all the money and what do you want? like I was offering shit up. Couple boxes of Swishers, couple bottles of Patron, and cases of cigarettes. Here you go, dude. Just get the fuck away from me. So fired from there. Still working at the clubs in the night. Still working, bouncing at night. Now I'm done at Tower Mart. And then so I believe I end up at Brownstone Gardens. A wedding place. And now I end up working here. This became a longer standing job. So I maybe got probably a year and like 4 months, probably like a year and 3 months out of Tower Mart. Actually, I don't know, dude. Maybe a year. Let's call it a year, give or take a month. And now because I ended up at Brownstone Gardens, and I remember for my whole life that was my longest standing job until the post office. So I worked at Brownstone. Now I'm working at Brownstone Gardens, and maybe at some point in here I get a construction job with my brother, and I work 2 days there, and I get him to quit. At some point in this timeline, at some point in this year. Maybe that was later. Dude, my memory's fucked. I know these things happened. I don't know what order. I don't know how to chronicle that. I should have kept a journal. I think I have some journals actually over the years I can go through. I don't know. if they have any of this shit. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Brownstone Gardens, working there, weddings, saw all types of crazy shit. Stole a ton of fucking bottles from people, partied like fucking crazy. I would set up the weddings, cater the weddings, work the weddings, roll the fucking silverware, wash the dishes. I'd do landscaping. I'd leaf blow. I'd power wash. I'd mow the lawn. I'd set up the chairs. I'd set up the tables. I'd fucking everything you could possibly imagine. And at the end, I'd come in the next day in the daytime and pressure wash again to get the cake and shit off the pavers. I just was like working for this Christian family. They hired me, and it was just like, yeah, doing all types of shit. Just pretty much like everything. I don't know. I looking back on it, these people, like, they were always trying to get me to join their church, but they were and they paid me a decent wage, but they definitely run you like a slave. Like, it was very much like commune status. I did everything. Like, I cannot describe to you, like, from front to back, top to bottom, setting things up, from like party favors on each table setting, serving food, walking around with hors d'oeuvres, setting up chairs, cleaning up after all of it, directing traffic in and out of the parking lot. Like, you just work at a venue and it's really weird. Really, and they constantly were trying to get me to join their church, and they were out of their fucking minds. Like, these Pentecostal fucking couldn't cut their hair. These people had to wear skirts. It was insane. They were out of their fucking minds. So, and then at some point, I don't know when, I start working at, what car was I driving when I was working there? Okay, I skipped a job. That's why there's a gap. Okay, community college. Rewind. I don't know. I skipped a job. It's U.S. Airways. I worked for the airport in San Francisco. I worked at SFO. I worked there for, it was a 6-month probationary period. I got right up to probation and totaled my mom's Prius on the Bay Bridge falling asleep. Second car I've totaled falling asleep. I had the Lincoln. It broke down. The shocks were out, and I was blowing out the tires. So if you ever seen a 94 Lincoln, they have hydraulics, air hydraulics, suspension, and it was blowing out, and I kept bottoming out. And I had to lean forward constantly, and we're driving to the city in this thing. We're working nightclubs. Like, I'm going to Oakland all the time. Like, I didn't fucking just sit around. Like, I was all over the place in this car, even though it was a piece of shit. And it finally breaks down after my buddy Andrew gets me a job at the airport loading. I was a fleet service technician, loading baggage into planes underneath in the belly of a plane, unloading baggage, doing the blue juice, refilling it, dumping out the shit, refueling, towing, taxiing. I met Sullivan, the pilot. He worked for the airline I worked for before he landed the plane in the Hudson River. Smashing around SFO in a tug all the time, picking up seafood and flying it to Vegas and all types of crazy shit. Met Reese Witherspoon when they were filming Four Christmases. I never met Vince Vaughn, but he was there. There was an abandoned terminal at the time that people lived in. That helped when I was homeless. I stayed there a couple nights a week, a couple times. And then somebody bitched and said that it was theirs, and that I didn't have any right to do that, even though we were all kind of squatting in this airport. So I'm working there. I skipped that job. Fucking worked there, totaled my mom's car. Worked there 6 months. It's a 6-month probationary period, and I'm in the ironworkers union okay? And I'm paying dues. They're taking dues from me. This union's taking dues from me. And I get hired, or excuse me, you can only be late like 3 times in this probationary period. And I'd been late twice because I'm driving from a place called Oakley, California to San Francisco, California. If you type that in on Google Maps, let's type it in here. It's not close. Okay. I lived in the deep East Bay. Let me see. Where I'm just gonna type in literally my woo! Alright. I have an app that I have a program that turns my fucking keyboard into a soundboard because I want to do more drops. It's not. Oh my goodness, that was funny as fuck. Let me see. Jesus. All right. I did not want to click the house on Zillow. I'm good. I didn't need to see all that. Why did Zillow come up first? Zillow, go away. No. Let's see it on Maps, please. Google Maps. There we go. Tight butthole. Fucking sweet. Now, directions. 2. Choose starting point. SFO, motherfucker. SFO. How far is this shit? Don't remember. It's not close. Doesn't matter. I don't care what terminal. Just pick the generic airport. 62 miles. Okay. What? What way is this? Oh, that's through the... Oh, no. Okay, there we go. That's my way right there. 60.4 miles. I did not... A couple times I took the 75-mile way, but it's a lot longer and pretty awful through Livermore and Pleasanton and Byron. Out that way. Pretty awful. No. So driving that every day, finally totaled my car, my mom's car, wore my tires out, the Lincoln, and it was Christmas week, and I borrowed my mom's car, her Prius. I wasn't living there at the time, but I was like, hey, I have a couple grand saved up. My car just broke down. Let me just drive your car today. It was Christmas Eve. I was like, I have work today. I'm off tomorrow. Let me just drive your car today, and then the day after Christmas, go with me and buy a car. Help me pick out a car. And like we talked about it, and she was just like, happy I was showing initiative, and I was working at the airport, and I was trying to get an apartment in Bay Point at the time, because it was the only place I could afford one in the East Bay. Yeah, it was. I don't know why I wanted to stay in the East Bay closer to my girlfriend and my friends. Like, I should have just broke up with this bitch and just fucking moved to the city. But either way. So she's like, hey, I'm happy you're trying to get your own place. I'll help you find your own place, or I'll help you buy a car. You have a couple grand. I have a couple grand. Take my car today. So I took her car the next day to work, her fucking brand new, fucking 7,000 miles on it Prius. And I totaled that shit, falling asleep on the Bay Bridge on the way to work, 4 a.m. So I total it, right? I get pushed off by the highway patrol with a bumper. Their little guard on the front of their car. He pushes me off the exit. Every time I pass that exit, I think about it. Pushes me off. The car's just fucking blown to shit. And then the tow truck comes, and then now I get a ride to work. And I go to work, and they're like, nah, man, you're fired. This is your last day. This is your 3rd time being late. And I was pissed because I was in the union. So I go to the shop steward, and I'm like, dude, I'm paying union dues. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I didn't know that, but there's nothing I can do. And he pretty much tells me to fuck off. And then so I get canned. And yeah, so I skipped that job, but now we can go back to Brownstone Gardens. Now I'm working at Brownstone Gardens. Like I said, the wedding place. Didn't mean to skip U.S. Airways. No disrespect. My timeline just gets fucked up. So totaled my mom's car. This is right around 2008. This is around the economic crash. This is when everything's fallen to shit. Her mortgage was ballooning. She just bought a house a year or two before this. She just sold one and bought a new one and upgraded. The worst time. And her life was falling apart because of that. And then I totaled her car. Didn't help. Brand new car. Less than 10,000 miles. And I completely totaled it. Yeah, it didn't help. It didn't help her situation whatsoever. Set me the fuck back. And then so fast forward, that's why I probably started. This was before I got into doing stupid shit. Okay. So now I end up doing stupid shit. Talked about all that. Fucking idiot, man. Like, oh, a drug dealer won't call the cops. I could have fucking died. Okay. I could have fucking died. Now I'm at Brownstone Gardens working weddings, working for the psycho Pentecostal family. And then I want to say around this time, me and my girlfriend at the time broke up. No, we would have still been together. So I'm still working at Brownstone Gardens, and this goes into 2010. Now the Giants won the World Series. I remember that. It was fucking amazing. That was awesome. So yeah, the Giants win the World Series, and then shortly after, my girlfriend at the time cheats on me with a yard duty from our high school. So we break up, and I continue to work at Brownstone. Yeah, her and I break up. Maybe I'm not doing nothing. I was going through jobless points here too. Definitely was jobless for a little while. Had my second house, got $5,000 out of the first house because he wasn't paying the mortgage, and a bank showed up and was like, hey, we're going to pay you money to leave in 30 days. Your owner is a deadbeat. The pastor who owns this house is a deadbeat and doesn't pay his mortgage. So transfer that into a better house over in Almond Ridge by the cemetery in Antioch. Living there, doing stupid shit. But even after I'm done doing stupid shit, I still didn't really want to work. So I'm like selling everything I own. I sold the Bronco. You know what I mean? Just doing all types of... I'm just being a fucking idiot, dude. Being a fucking idiot just to keep that house. So it's to rent a house in Antioch. The dumbest motherfucker ever, just to keep my girlfriend, pretty much. Where do I go after this? Continue to work at the bars, and now I'm just at Brownstone Gardens in the bars. We break up, and then at this point, I'm 22. 21, 22. I've been bouncing for a couple years at this point, off and on. Working at the place for over a year at this point. Me and my girlfriend break up. We're renting a room from some kind of like burnout lady on welfare in a place that used to be a nice neighborhood called Rose Garden that's now a shithole. Or at that point, she had turned that house into a shithole. We break up. And then I don't know what happens here. I kind of fall into like a weird depression, and then we lose the house. I'm in the room. I leave that room, and I just force my way back into my mom's house. She had lost her house. Now she's renting a house. And then my stepdad at this point, I think this is around the time I catch him cheating on her. I start hanging out with more losery people. I'm not going to lie to you. People that just kind of smoke weed and do nothing, because I'm just trying to surround myself with people that don't, that make me feel intellectually superior at this point, because I didn't make a decision. So I forced my way back into my mom's house, where she's renting at this point, and I get a construction job with my brother, and he's just digging trenches and digging ditches for this weird fucking retaining wall company. And the only people that work there were felons and migrants, which is chill and all. But I was like, Joey, what the fuck are you doing? They're making fun of him for reading on his break. He was reading, I think, the Game of Thrones books at the time. And they're making fun of him for reading on his break. And I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, so I kind of project this shit onto my little brothers. Like, I was older than them, fucking my life off, and I would see them, and I'd be like, hey, don't do this, you know? So convince him to do that and go to a much better job like Wingstop. Dude, he's commuting an hour and a half in Bay Area traffic in 100-degree South Bay weather in San Jose to build retaining walls with felons. Like, no, like, come on, dude. We're better than that. And so at this point, no longer construction, security kind of falls away. My friends I did security with move away. They all come out here to Colorado at this point. And now I'm kind of just left hanging out with just a bunch of burnouts and losers. This is when I run into the Diaz brothers. They're hanging out around the people I'm hanging out with. They're just kind of buying weed from these people. And like I said, I'm just surrounding myself with stoners and just kind of going nowhere at this point. I have a reputation in my hometown of just being an idiot who robbed people. No one can prove it, like, you know what I mean? But everyone kind of knows, you know what I mean? It's a small town, dude. Everyone kind of knows you're a fucking idiot. So at this point, I leave. No, I don't leave. What do I do? I don't know. I'm just kind of hanging around, hiding out, getting high. Just pretty much, yeah, I don't know. I started dating. I have like different girlfriends at the time, one at a time, dating different girls. Still hanging out in the city, still doing shit, but just, I don't know. Like I said, got my brother to quit that construction job after 2 days. We walked out. I worked 2 days with him and was like, this is fucking awful. And we went on a lunch break the second day, and I was like, we're going home, bro. And we went home. And then around this point, I start cooking, I think. I start cooking. I work at Solar Universe, this place called Solar Universe. They pay me, get this shit. They paid me $15 an hour to go door to door and sell solar. And I didn't have to, I didn't have to clock in. I logged my own hours. I just had to say what I canvassed, and I'd say I work 8 hours every day. And so I got paid pretty good money to never make a single sale, to never even try to make a single sale because I didn't give a fuck. And I would just lie and say I canvassed places. I would just go park and walk around and then just be like, yeah, I canvassed there. And I think I quit Brownstone Gardens around this time, or I'm still working there, maybe. Quit there, like I said, go to the solar place, and then I end up at a place called The Game, a pizza place, and now I'm just making pizzas and smoking weed. This is when you get it, you got into just being a burnout. I went to a couple Occupy protests around this time. And then you get a little disillusioned in that. It just didn't feel authentic. It just felt like, I don't know, everyone there, you get there and everyone's just bitching. And you feel like you're a part of something, you want to, but part of you just doesn't because you're not. It's not. It just felt I don't know. I was getting the vibe of, and people are saying it, while it's there, like, this is bullshit. This is fucking fake. This is fucking manicured, this is manufactured. And then so I'm just kind of hanging out, robbing this solar place for a few months, and then I end up at a pizza place. And now it's around 2011, 2012. I think I'm maybe done with security at this point. I maybe was still doing it off and on for this company. maybe a couple more times, but it's pretty much done by now. Yeah, by 2012, 2013, it was over. Because I was done. Yeah, exactly. So I was done by then. And I'm done with the pizza place. I work there. I don't know what the fuck. I'll just fucking eat pig out, make pizza. Got really good at making pizza. And then realized that it was just like, this place is kind of bullshit. But I still liked being in the kitchen. And I liked it. And it was something I was decent at. And it was a job I was able to keep. But my boss was a cop. That was whack. Shawnee. Having a boss as a cop is whack. He owned the place. He was an ex-cop. So I leave there, and I'm just, like I said, just being kind of a burnout, man, just smoking weed. That's really all I'm doing, just driving around, smoking weed, being a fucking idiot, going nowhere, completely directionless. This is all piling up. My depression, I'm just completely depressed. I'm lost. No idea what the fuck I'm doing. Then I get a job at the Oakland Coliseum, working VIP Raiders games. I got a job at a catering place called Blue Sage that I had met through Boundstone Gardens. Worked a couple jobs for them, but that food was bullshit. Just like the pizza place, the food was bullshit. Went to the catering place, the food was bullshit. I like learning things, but it's just all, so I'm cooking, but I'm not. So I have 3 cooking jobs at this point, but none of them stick. And now I end up at the Oakland Coliseum working Raider games. I saw Adam Sandler, saw Robert Kraft, saw Kevin James, fucking just dating some chick. She worked there too. It was pretty cool working the VIP section. I got to see Tom Brady beat the Raiders. I was like, genuinely made a point to go see him. I was like, all right, this is Tom fucking Brady. I'm gonna watch this motherfucker. And he marched down the fucking field and scored a touchdown. Pretty cool. And then around this is around the time I get a job at the post office. And I believe because, where am I at? Just by the way, my dogs are moving around. I feel like I've been talking. Yep, an hour. Okay. And I got some editing to do in the first 15 minutes of this. I was high as shit and just like, ugh. And if there's lower energy, who cares? I'm sorry. Either way, doesn't matter. But I'll pick up next time where I start working at the post office. And that was the last job I would have before I moved to beautiful Colorado. Before the depression got a hold of me, my hometown reputation got a hold of me, my inability to... I could have done what I did, the Colorado move, I could have done in the Bay. I could have just moved different parts of the Bay. Yeah, I had to make a drastic decision. I could have just moved. That place is so densely populated. I really could have moved an hour away and had a completely different life, but no one told me that. And I didn't realize that until now. Especially looking at the tab I have open of the map of how far away it is. Yeah, I felt ashamed of, if people, knew, it's like I said, it's a small town, people talk, and I was just embarrassed and ashamed. And everywhere I went, I felt judged, and I just hated who I was. And, you get to this point where you want to reinvent yourself. I don't know if this happens to everybody, but it happened to me. And you end up not really, but it's just, you didn't want the mistakes you made to be held over your head. But anyways, I'll get to that in the next episode. Yeah, I'll pick up next time because I ran long on this episode. But this now will be a 3-part series of the Will Smith, the real reason he did it. The saga will continue. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you and good evening.